So, and speaking of characters, you also worked with CeCe DeVille, and we've had Adam Hamilton on the show, and we go back a ways with Adam, and he was in Samantha 7 either before or after you at some point. And he would tell us about how CeCe discovered him actually here in Austin, playing in a cover band down on 6th Street. And Poison was in town playing the arena, and CeCe went out for a night on the town and saw this cover band and said, "Hey, I'm on my way out of Poison. I'm going to start something. You want to be my drummer?" And that was that's the short version of the story.
Yeah.
But Adam said, CeCe was, as you know, there's, I think he's kind of got his act together now, but there was a time when he was pretty out of control. So what version of CeCe did you get to work with?
I got the sober version.
Okay.
He was sober, and it's just after he lost all the weight. Well, not just after, but after he'd lost all that weight, and he was sober, and he became obsessed with running. So his new drug was running. So he had to run every single day. He'd go run for 10 miles every single day. And he was on that kick, and when we actually got together, there wasn't talk of Poison at that time, and it wasn't until things actually started rolling that they announced that there was going to be a Poison tour, and so he was on the fence. He actually tried to get us to talk the guys into letting Samantha 7 open, be a band on the bill, kind of like how Nikki Sixx had 6 a.m. on the Molly on Crew Fest.
Yeah.
They could do double thing, but they weren't having it. I guess they didn't want anything to take away from Poison.
Yeah.
And so, but so it's CeCe. Yeah, he was a riot. He was he wanted to sing, and that was his thing. We played at Woodstock 99 with that. We were called the Stepmothers then, though, before Samantha 7.
Wow.
And so that was cool. That was a cool show. And then we did a tour, and a US tour, and it was cool. But the bummer was that, when you play with somebody like that, it's like the promoters, they don't really care about the new thing. And so we would go places, and they were like, the poster would be CeCe DeVille from Poison.
Yeah.
With his band Samantha 7 about this big, and the promoters would pay an extra, couple $1,000 or something like that if we promised to play Poison songs, which he didn't want to do, but they were paying extra to do it. So we ended up doing some Poison songs on that run, and he didn't sing any of them. He just let the audience come on stage and
wow,
it's like Poison karaoke kind of thing.
Wow.
Yeah, it was cool. He was obsessed with running, though, and then he was great. And they did I think a couple Poison tours where he was sober, and I think he ended up getting into trouble again after that. But then he cleaned up again after that. So
yeah. Adam says, it's no secret. You've seen the behind the music and all that stuff. Yeah. He was a pretty hard case there for a while. So he's lucky to still be with us. And it's cool that you got to work with the manageable CeCe, I guess. What about your time in Great White? Tell us a little bit about that. What time frame was that? And again, how did you get that gig?
Yeah, it was we were both on the same label. We both had the same management, if you want to call them that.
Wow. Tough room.
No, he's one of those guys that you'd ask a question and he'd talk to you for about an hour and a half and never answer your question.
Mm-hmm.
And explain to you how the music business works.
Right.
Kind of thing. But anyway, he's he's not around anymore anyway. But anyway, there was same management and kind of the same tour manager. Everything kind of was real close related with that whole thing. So I guess Audie and Sean McNabb at that time was the bass player.
Mm-hmm.
And Audie Desbro, they had some falling out with the band and they quit, you know. And so I got a call the last minute, you know, hey, Francis, can you learn an hour and a half set by tomorrow? And I was like, yeah. They said, okay, we'll call you back. Hung up the phone. I was like, with who? Like,
Yeah.
I didn't even know who it was for. And so they called me back and they said, all right, cool. You're going to be on a, 7 a.m. flight going to Cadott, Wisconsin or something. And the band's Great White. And here's the set list, and if you don't have the music already, come by, we'll give you a CD but that's it. And shows tomorrow. I was like, all right. Luckily I had already played a bunch of those songs in cover bands in high school and stuff like that too. So I knew a number of them, but,
is this the Jack Russell version? I have to ask.
Yeah, it was with Jack Russell.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, it was Jack Russell and Michael Lardy
Mm-hmm.
and Ty Longley, who we lost in the fire.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. But yeah. So we played some shows and basically it was just a bunch of flyout shows that I'd go play with them, and so it was fun. I mean, it was fun playing those songs that I loved in high school.
Yeah.
Save All You Love and all that cool stuff, and Jack was a really great singer. I mean, he could still sing. We did a show with him last year, I think, and he still got pipes. His health isn't very good. He still got pipes.
Yeah.
But he was great singer, and he used to sing stuff. We'd be in the truck together driving places and he'd be singing Alice in Chains, and he liked a lot of heavier stuff too. So
Oh yeah.
but
Wow.
So that was cool. So we just played, and then they were about to go do a European tour, and Samantha 7 was going to be the opening band. And so we'd be doing double duty. And when I was on tour with Samantha 7, I broke my leg.
Oh.
I got run over by a car. And
Oh,
yeah. So,
Dude.
so it kind of like kept me out of the game for a little bit. But
yeah, I guess.
at this point, I started playing shows again. And I had a cast on my right leg up to my crotch, so I ended up just, I play double bass. So I just ended up putting the double pedal together and put an open hi-hat and a closed hi-hat and then just played with my left leg, and just went back and forth with the opening.
Wow.
And I played a bunch of shows like that. And so I was going to do the European tour doing the same thing with both bands.
Wow.
But I ended up not doing it partially because I wanted to stay back and let my leg heal.
Mhm.
And also too, they couldn't tell me, the basically what I was going to get paid, and I was like, well, no, dude, I need to know before I split, and that was that manager that I was telling you about that, would never answer your questions. It's like,
Especially when it came to money.
oh,
Yeah,
what is
that
it, budget? And I said, okay, look, if you're not going to tell me what I'm going to get paid, then I'm going to tell you what my rate is. Then, playing with both bands,
With a broken leg.
and they're like, oh no. So they gave me this. I was like, all right, man. Then I'm not going to do it. And it sucked because I wanted to do it, but at the same time, my leg, I wanted to let it heal properly, looking more long term. And then I kind of almost look at it as a blessing in disguise, because had I stayed in that situation, I've said this before, I would have been most certainly the drummer playing when the fire happened. And so,
Wow.